a real-life vampire has revealed how he drinks blood and sometimes sleeps in a coffin after a dream changed his life forever. Andreas Bathory, from Romania, believes vampires are not only found in fiction, and in fact walk among us. He said he occasionally sleeps in a coffin when he wants to connect with the souls of the dead. Andreas says he was visited by a figure in his dream, a warlord with taste for blood, and claims he was chosen to spread his message. The vampire lord, who dwells on the sprawling grounds of Dracula's castle, Bran Castle in Transylvania, argues traditional blood drinking isn't sexual, and true vampirism should not be confused with the more modern advent of blood fetishism. Andreas said, "I keep a distance from the modern online vampire community. We preserve traditions that are more than 600 years old. The modern vampire community is full of sexual practices that work against the nature of existence of the higher self of the vampire. The vampire within doesn't fulfill itself through sexual deviance, blood fetishes, or BDSM. This is not the way of the vampire." Andreas claims his life changed forever when he was visited by an infamous figure in a dream, Vlad Tepes, also known as Vlad the Impaler, a warlord with a taste for blood. Andreas said, 4 years ago, he came to me in my dreams. He was in a dark chamber calling me my son. I don't believe I'm his descendant, but that rather he chose me to relay his message and traditions with the new generation. After that night, I brought an offering to the place where he was killed, and he told me, "Your life will change forever now." It did. Andreas is now the elected leader of the Ordo Dracul Coven, a group that claims to have been formed when Dracula was assassinated in 1476. Instead of lunging on victims and biting into their necks, Andreas says the group has donors he calls black swans who willingly offer up their blood. So plentiful are these volunteers, Andreas says he never has to seek them out himself and simply lets the flock come to him. However, just like sex, drinking blood comes with health risks, which is something he has to keep mindful of. Andreas said, "We feed from consensual donors only. You would be surprised by the number of people who freely offer themselves to you if you let them know you are a vampire. Believe it or not, I never ask, few of us have to. People offer themselves to us of their own free will to understand vampires and our energy. There are health risks, but no different from crossing the street. We take measures to make sure the transaction is safe." Andreas, who works as a psychologist and fashion designer, said he occasionally sleeps in a coffin when he wants to connect with the souls of the dead. But when he came out of the coffin and went public with his lust for blood, Andreas said he was vilified by jealous online haters. Andreas said, "Sometimes I sleep in a coffin when I want to be dead to the world and meditate. Of course, we deal with plenty of online haters. They are just jealous. If somebody told me all of this a decade ago, it would seem like fantasy. But if you faced the forces that I have, you would understand.